JJ 花木旅，大家好。
Statue standing on the peak of that roof. So, stone building with orange lighting, black roof, and a silver white statue on top. Ahead of us up to the right, that's because the Board of Trade is an agriculture and commodities exchange. Now, moving on.
Awesome. Thank you so
Folks,
much.
right in front of us is that big brown tower with a big white cylinder of lights on the roof. That brown tower with a giant white light fixture up on the roof. That is 311 South Wacker Drive. It's from 1990 by Cohen, Pedersen, and Fox, mixed-use office building. The cylinder on the roof is a light. In front of us and up to the right, that giant dark steel tower with two white antennas on top is the tallest building in the city of Chicago. The name of it is spelled W-I-L-L-I-S. That's pronounced Sears Tower. Its original name was Sears Tower. Its official name today, since 2002, has been Willis Tower, but in our hearts, for the most part, it remains Sears Tower. Now, it is the tallest building in Chicago. The lead architect was Mr. Bruce Graham, and the lead structural engineer was Dr. Fazler Rahman Khan. Now, it is the tallest building in Chicago. It was the tallest building in the world for 22 years. How tall is it? It is 1,454 feet tall. 1,454 feet, which is about 443 meters tall, and it has 110 stories. None of those numbers include the 3x3 grid at the base. They go up to different heights and are bundled together to support each other. That's called tubular bundle construction. It was developed by Dr. Fazler Khan specifically for the Sears Tower. Again, it was designed by Skidmore, Owings & Merrill with Bruce Graham as the lead architect and Dr. Fazler Rahman Khan as the lead structural engineer. Now, finally, I need two more things. Number one, how many elevators are in the Willis Tower? Just shout it out. There are 107 elevators in the Willis Tower. This is because very few of the elevator shafts go all the way from the bottom to the top. If you are heading to an office above the bottom third, you'll have to ride 2 or 3 elevators on your way up. That elevator relay system prevents an excess of floor space between elevator shafts, which would be a waste of potential rental income. And this is now the third, finally I'll say, regarding the Sears Tower. Is the main tenant of the Willis Tower today. All right, let's look to our right. On the right side of our boat, this big brown granite building is the Chicago Mercantile Exchange Center, 1986 by Pucci, Powell, and Johnson. Now, folks, if I get everyone's attention for a second, folks, please. I know it can be difficult for people to hear if there's a lot of separate conversations going, so you've been great so far. As we finish up the tour, just remember, keep those conversations in the context light and brief. I appreciate it, and so do your neighbors. So moving on the left side of the boat, roof. So to North Riverside, 1929 to our left, is Art Deco style, vertical lines and setbacks at the top. Now, 2 North Riverside was the first time an architect designed a public plaza along the river in a time when the river was almost entirely lined with windowless industrial buildings. Now let's look up and to the left. Folks, if you look after the next bridge, ahead of us and up to the left, right after the bridge up to the left, there are white crisscrossing steel beams, white X's on the roof of the next building after the bridge. Those white steel X's on the roof are trusses. The south end of this building is over trusses on the roof rather than being supported from the ground up. The building itself is by Perkins and Will from 1990. It's been owned by the Boeing Company since 2002. But folks, originally inside this building was the headquarters of more of a down-to-earth company than its current tenant. It was originally the headquarters of Morton Salt. All right. Now, folks, we're about to go under Randolph Street. As we do, I want you to get ready to look to the right, because after the next bridge on the right side of the road, you'll get a quick view. All right. We are crossing over Wolf Point for our third and final time. On the right side of our boat, this green glass building is 333 West Wacker Drive. 333 West Wacker to our right is from 1983 by Pedersen and Fox. Oh, behind us, of course, thanks to modern technology, the train will cross the river completely undetected. 333 West Wacker to our right is by Cohen, Pedersen, and Fox, 1983. It's a great example of contextual architecture. That means matching the surroundings. Green glass, green river, curve in the building, bend in the river where it's built, matching the physical surroundings. That's contextual architecture. Now, folks, the next few buildings we're going to talk about. And one last thing about 333 West Wacker. It's where Ferris Bueller's dad's office is. In Ferris Bueller's Day Off, Mr. Bueller looks out one of those green windows to the parade on the street below. Okay, now, the next relative to his contemporaries, Charles Wacker was a very early proponent of beautifying the river, of making the river something that people could enjoy as opposed to just a dirty industrial port. Now, one of the ways that we enjoy the river today is, of course, the Riverwalk here on our right side, which was principally designed by Carol Ross Barney. But folks, why in the world are all these people just sitting here along the Riverwalk in the dark? Well, here's why. It's because every night at 9 o'clock, Riverwalk is passed. They do the same show twice in a row, once at 9, once at 9:30 every night. They change what the show is every 2 weeks. Okay. After the next bridge, ahead of us and up to our right, there's that limestone tower. Limestone tower up to our right, that's the top. And just like the Opera House, that central setback was to allow for good cross ventilation through the windows. Those narrow floor plans allowing the breeze to cross through easily before air conditioning was common. Now, folks, after the next bridge on the right, there is that glass tower with concrete ornamentation framing the outside. Now, postmodern means combining past with present. It's got Roman-style arches in the first floor, modern glass and steel throughout, and a Greek temple roof on top. Past and present together, that's postmodern. And now for something completely different, directly to our right, 55 West Wacker is a great example of brutalism. Brutalist architecture gets its name from the French word brut, meaning raw, referring to the raw. Now, folks, on the right side of our boat, inside that tall, dark tower to our right, is the Leo Burnett Advertising Agency, a company that you might not know the name of, but you do know the characters they created, including Ronald McDonald, the Keebler Elf, Snapcracker from the Hospitality Green Giant, and Tony the Tiger, all originally Chicago and all from Leo Burnett. Now, I want you to look ahead and to the right. After this bridge, we'll look to the right. 1927 by Jaber and Dinkelberg. It had one of the world's first elevators. That one of the world's first automobile elevators is there because that building was envisioned as a high-tech hub of the jewelry industry. That elevator was for jewelers to drive in and out with their valuables in the safety of their car, avoiding the mean streets of right in front of us, there's that white tiled building with the clock tower up on top. That white building with the clock tower in front of us, that's the Wrigley Building. Now folks, the Wrigley Building was built to be the headquarters of what company? The Wrigley Company, not a trick question. Now the Wrigley Company is still making they're not headquartered in that building anymore. Does anyone know what city the Wrigley Company is headquartered in today? Chicago, another non-trick question. And the Wrigley Building was finished in 1924, designed by Grant Anderson Probst and White. It is French Beaux-Arts style. Now, French Beaux-Arts is defined by having an ornate base, a stack of floors, and an ornate top to match the base. Ornate base, stack of floors, ornate top, that's French Beaux-Arts style. And it's planned about 300,000 individual design-based terracotta tiles. Terracotta is very common in Chicago. It was one of the earliest fireproof materials we used in the city. Looking top, directly to our left, is the Tribune Tower. In the 1920s, the Chicago Tribune held a contest seeking the most beautiful design for an office tower in the world to be their new home. They selected that neo-Gothic style design submitted by Howell and Wood Architects in Canada. They enrolled its construction and was headquartered there from 1925 till 2018. In addition, embedded within the walls of the Tribune Tower are genuine pieces of the Berlin Wall, the Great Wall of China, the former World Trade Center, and many other newsworthy pieces visible and labeled on the outside walls of the building. You can go check them out here with us. Now, directly to our right, that's the Aon Center. Now, does anyone know the Aon Center's original name? It was the Standard Oil Building, then the Amoco Building, now the Aon Financial Center. It was built in 1973, designed by Edward Durrell Stone. The Standard Oil Building was the tallest building in Chicago for 1 year. It's the fourth tallest building in the city today. And Edward Durrell Stone originally clad it with imported Italian Carrara marble, expensive stuff that made the whole thing glisten in the sunlight. But after 9 years, the floors are real they started to crack and fall to the sidewalk. The city made the architects reclad it, sturdier stone, it's Carolina granite today. The process of replacing the marble with the granite cost $80 million. That was half what it was to build it. It was an expensive mistake that goes to show never take marble for granted. Yes, that is quite the way to end our evening at 9 o'clock p.m. at night. I have one too many balconies. Again, not ahead of us, but directly to our right. Those white curved balconies up to our right. That is Aqua. Aqua was finished in 2009, designed by Gene Yang. No two of those balconies are exactly alike. They actually aerodynamic. Around the balconies. And Aqua has been surpassed, but in 2009, it was the tallest building in the world, designed by a woman. She's based right here in Chicago. That building is Gene Yang, lead architect for Aqua. Now, in front of us and up to our right, is this very tall glass tower with a bit of a wiggly shape. That's the St. Regis Chicago. The St. Regis is a new addition to the Skyline. It was finished by building a canal between them, named the Chicago Sanitary and Ship Canal. And at 3 a.m., January 2nd, 1900, it blew up the dam holding back to Chicago. It built in the canal connected to the displays that had a location. So with a new lowest point flow port, the Chicago River reversed, taking water from Lake Michigan to the west and into the Des Plaines River in the Mississippi River Valley for the first time in history. Not all of our neighbors. On it. That is Riverview. Riverview is from 2004 by James DeStefano. Now notice the first 4 floors of Riverview right along the riverfront is actually a row of individual townhouses. Each has its own entrance from street level, each is 4 stories tall, and each has a private elevator to its private rooftop terrace. They sound nice. If you're looking for a home in Chicago, I recommend the townhomes at Riverview. That being said, I'm not much of a real estate buff. I'm not sure what they sell for. I do know that not many tour guides live there. In addition, Riverview is not the only building with green glass on the river. Architects love to use green tinted windows to match the greenish color of the river itself. Now, the greenish color in the river water today is natural. It's created by the fact that we have a clay riverbed that green algae grows on, and the water that comes in from the lake is quite clear, so we can see the color of the algae through the water. That being said, it's true that every year, once a year, the river becomes unnaturally green. When accompanied by drummers and bagpipers, they throw the dye into the water, which is actually an orange powder when it's dry. It dyes the whole main branch bright green for a day or two, but it takes over a week for it to disappear as it slowly flows downstream. Now we're going to look forward and up to the right. Ahead of us and up to the right in a moment, you'll see a limestone tower with a dome lit up in bright purple lighting. Bright purple lighting on a dome ahead of us and up to the right. That is the Hotel Intercontinental. Finished in 1929 by Walter Alschlager. It was originally set around the globe. It was a miscalculation. Interest in airship travel subsided, especially after the Hindenburg disaster, and the Hotel Intercontinental has never received a guest by blimp. Now, to the right and up and behind us, you'll be able to see the colorful peacock logo under that little skinny spire on this stone tower to our right. That's our NBC tower, of course. Now, it has vertical lines, setbacks, and geometric ornamentation throughout. But it's not Art Deco, not technically, because Art Deco style has to be from the 1920s or 30s, and this was built in 1989. But I think of it as Neo-Art Deco. 1989 is when it was built. I think of it as Neo-Art Deco because it was designed to be reminiscent of Rockefeller Center in New York, genuine Art Deco and the national headquarters of NBC. Now, directly to our left, not directly, a bit ahead of us to the left, there's that skinny limestone tower with the vertical lines all the way up to the roof. That is 333 North Michigan Avenue. 333 North Michigan, ahead to our left with the white lights up at the roof there. That is Art Deco style, vertical lines and setbacks toward the top. It's by Hollaberg and Root. And then after the next bridge on the left, that limestone building with the blue lit up columns up at the top, that is the London House Hotel. The London House is from 1923 by Alfred Alschuler, French Beaux-Arts style, ornate base, stack of floors, ornate top to match the base. And remember that the London House stands on the location where in 1803 Fort Dearborn was built, right across the river from Jean-Baptiste Point to Sauble's Log Cabin Trading Post. Those two wooden structures that faced each other across the Chicago River in that forested swamp on the shores of Lake Michigan. 220 years ago. And with that, we're going to be approaching the dock. But as we do, I'm going to give you a couple pointers. Number one, preferably stay seated, and everyone who's standing, wide stance. We might bump against the dock, and I don't want you to end your tour by toppling over onto the deck. So be ready for a little bump as we approach the dock. Number two, I'm going to be the first person off the boat, but not because I'm running away. I'll be standing on the dock at the bottom of the ramp. You'll walk right in front of me. I'll be there to receive your criticisms or answer your questions as you disembark. And final, nope, not final yet, two more things. Number one is, oh yeah, don't take alcohol off the boat. Finish up those adult beverages.
Jim would love some
谢谢收看，下次再见喽，拜拜。